Hello, this is David Taylor Klaus, and this is Mindset Mondays with DTK, and this is episode number 29. So, quick heads up, take a moment to click share and share this with your community. Have folks join the conversation. This is part of a year-long program for folks with a growth mindset or for folks who want to develop one to play with new ideas and new concepts. So, today's quote. This is a fun one, and my apologies. I practiced my German, and it's terrible. So I'm going to present this one only in English today. And the quote is, "Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it." And this is just such a rich opportunity, right? So, and I will get the quote right in just a moment. I really do know how to use this app. All right, good. Now that I've got everything clear and in hand, again, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Genius has power and magic in it. And this is amazing. The opportunity to step into boldness. One of the things we talk to the kids about is the 5 seconds of bravery. Just the 5 seconds of bravery to step into your power gives you such an opportunity. That being bold, it is so incredibly liberating. What I wrote in the little blurb for this week is that there's a file cabinet next to me in my office of all the brilliant ideas that I've come up with and held on to and done absolutely nothing with. Now, that's not to say I am incredibly proud of what I have done and what I've created and what I've launched with this business and with my work in the world and with our family. And I don't want to minimize that at all. And I don't want this to be an opportunity for folk to beat themselves up, because what we've created, there is genius and power and magic in that. And yet there's piles of brilliance yet to explore. And, where is that opportunity for you? What is it where you can explore just through a little step of bold to begin something new, right? And, yes, it takes planning. I go back to that Eisenhower quote, and it's my favorite, and I hammer it all the time because it is so brilliant. The idea that Eisenhower said that he's found that in planning for battle, he's found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. Plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. The idea that you do the preparation, do the planning, create the plans, and once the first bullet flies, you dance. You step boldly into what's present. And then you dance in the moment. You have to respond to what's there. Whether it's partners in the business, customers, the marketplace, or literally in battle, the world doesn't always respond the way you planned for it to respond. So the planning and the preparation, that brilliance is critical. Once your boldness steps up and you step in, you have to respond to what's there, right? You have to respond to the way the world is responding to you. You have to be responsive, not reactive. And so where's the opportunity for your boldness? The Goethe, in this original quote about whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. It actually is based on something that comes from Faust. And I won't even attempt the German. I had one of my son's best friends record something for me in German so I could attempt it, and it's terrible. I can't, but here's what it actually translates to. Enough words have been exchanged. Now, at last, let me see some deeds. That's the boldness piece. That's the chance to jump, right? That's what's possible. Enough with the words. Now at last, let me see some deeds. Right? And Lynn, what a beautiful response to it, right? You leap and others will respond to your brilliance with theirs. That once you put your effort, your boldness, your genius, your power, your magic out into the world has something to which it can respond. And when you lay your brilliance out there, the world responds with its brilliance. People respond with their brilliance. Having that bias towards action, leaning in to possibility, as opposed to a bias to sitting still. Was it a body in motion tends to stay at motion? That bold action. Robin Jorgensen, with Women Igniting Change, talks a lot about that bias towards action and taking that bold step, being willing to leap out there, right? And whatever your version of it is, leap and the net will appear. Lay your brilliance out there and the world will respond with its brilliance. Be willing to be bold. Be willing to put yourself out there. Be willing to stand for what you believe, right? A brilliant voice was silenced this week in John McCain, and he is a model for, or what has been a model for, standing for what he believes. And when the rare times he acted in a way that didn't align with his values, he was willing and bold enough to stand back up and say, oops, I made a mistake. Here's what I did, and I'm sorry, and here's what I should have done. And that's bold. So bold is not just laying the action out there. Bold is not just stepping forward. Bold is also seeing, acknowledging, and responding to your failure. Plenty of opportunity to see in the world where we react, primitive brain, versus respond, the modern brain, the intelligent part of who we are. And God, this is such a rich opportunity for recalibrating what we do. Pause for a moment and look at whatever you can do or dream you can. Begin it. 5 seconds of bravery. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So I'm as always, I'm curious. What's coming up for you in all this? I love Andy's piece. Thank you, Andy. Boldness to me means intensifying rather than minimizing the values and ideas to the point of action. It's that boiling point. And Lynn, the moving beyond leaning in and actually leaping, actually taking action. And I think that's the piece. There's your 5 seconds of bravery. In the coaching world, we talk a lot about leaning in. And leaning in is one thing. And taking it in and immersing yourself. And there's also the leap that goes with it. Back to that bias for action. We need more than leaning in. We need more than feeling. We need more than fixing to commence. We actually need doing it. Stepping forward and stepping off the cliff, leaping. Where's the opportunity for you? Where is the opportunity for you to leap, to do it, to begin it? Where is the opportunity for you to take action? We're just a few days away from the last third of the year. God, it's almost September. And there's a third of 2018 left. Whether you're seeing this live, whether you're seeing this recorded on the site, or whether you're listening to this on a podcast, the opportunity here to play with is, what will you do? Not what will you consider, not what you plan, not what will you play with, and not what will you lean into. What will you do will create something different? Where will you allow your boldness to allow you to begin? Right? Whatever you can do, or believe you can, or dream you can, begin it. What will you change now? Janet, I really love that comment, and folks, you may hear that again. I think there's one that I'm going to use. It takes maturity to take baby steps, and that's true, right? On one hand, there's much more to play with that, and thank you, Janice. I'm Janet. I really appreciate that. Leaping into organization and community, open cafe on the west side of Chicago. Ooh, Lynn, I want to hear more about what you're doing there. And you, Lynn, you're a great example of somebody who's willing to not just lean in, but leap in and to act on what it is that you want to create. And I've watched so much of what you've been doing and linking to. Hell yeah, face the fear and do it anyway. Yeah, being scared and fearful is sometimes just part of what we need for the energy to move forward. Right? Face the fear and do it anyway. Just because we're afraid doesn't mean we don't act. Now, it's so often that we can allow ourselves to use the fear as the excuse for not leaping. Lean in when we feel the fear, and we step back. I don't know about you, but in the situations where I've done that, I just use the stepping back as the opportunity to beat myself up for not acting. There's the opportunity, there's the magic, there's the genius, there's the power, is at the point of leaning in and feeling the fear and freaking out. Instead of stepping back, leap. You know, start that company. You know, move to that new city. Dive in. There's so much joy in leaping. This is, you know, part of this quote takes me back to a couple of things we played with before. You know, episode 2, if you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And here's that piece again, whatever you can do or dream you can, you're right. So take the action, dive in. Ellie, you did dive in. You did move to a new community, ready to take a risk. The dream needs a team. So what's the opportunity? Where's the leap? Build the team, call out, ask for what you want. Build your dream team. And if you've got folks around you that are already part of the team, grow them, create the team you have as the dream team. There's so much opportunity. Back to what Chad said about the bias for action. You can look at it and say, but it needs a team. How about and it needs a team? That's not a reason to stop. It's the and. Like, hell yeah, create it, make it happen. So what will you folks change? What's the opportunity? What is the opportunity to begin? There's a place to have these conversations. We're rapidly approaching 600 members in this private Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Mindset Mondays. There's an open invitation to join the group. And again, it's a private group. Only those within this group that are listening to these broadcasts that have chosen to step in, and some folks that I've invited, come dive in, have the conversation, and share. Because when you lean into those 5 seconds of bravery and share what it is that you want to leap into, what you want to create, and you put it out in public, it makes it real. So come to facebook.com/group/Mindset Mondays. Make it real. Put it out there. Have a conversation. And join me again next week on Monday, same time for you, 10 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. GMT. And join the conversation. And between now and next week, what mindset will you choose?